everyone and welcome back to my channel Lou Life. It has been an incredibly long time and I am so excited to be back videoing. I have been very busy studying and working and getting on with life, and it's actually pretty much a year since I uploaded my last video. But I am committed this year to try and consistently upload a video every Wednesday, every week just every week. That's my plan, is to upload a video every Wednesday, every week. And I'm hoping that you will enjoy them. I am getting along with my studies really nicely, and I'm getting along with life really, really well. I'm in my last year of uni now, which is incredible. And so I'm sort of looking toward getting a job, but it just seems like the right time to be uploading videos again. And I am committed to doing that every week now, and I've got strategies and ways I'm going to be able to do that. So I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to it. So today I'm going to start off with going through lots of books, movies and TV shows that I've been watching over summer, because I think it's really, really fun I love it when people share what they've been listening, reading to and watching, and I love to hear that, and I love watching that kind of content. So I thought I would create a video like that. Also, if you have any video ideas that you would like to see, let me know, because I'm very excited and happy to do that. I can't wait to make some new content, and I'd love some ideas and inspiration, so let me know. So I'm going to start off with books. So over summer I read is the Dr. Karl's memoir, or autobiography, and he talks really, really well about his life, where he's come from, and how he was a bit of a hippie back in his time. And he talks a lot about moving houses, and he's got some really cool stories when he was a taxi driver and he was a scientist, and he's just lived a really interesting full life, and he's got a lot of stories and knowledge and insights and expertise, and he's a very knowledgeable scientist and a very knowledgeable person. And so it's just really interesting. And if there's a bit that you're not really interested in, you can sort of just like dip in and out of it, like I said, and get lots of different parts. So it's just a really good book, and I loved it. So I'm loving it. It's been really interesting. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. I also read over summer, or just before summer, I read, my October break, I read Richard Osman's book, which is We Solve Murders. It's just so much more of Richard Osman. It's just joyful, it's funny. So he did the Thursday Murder Club series, and I absolutely love that, where he had the retirement village people and they solved the murder in the retirement village. Where this one is all new characters, it's in all new settings and locations. It's basically, he got bored of writing murder stories in retirement village, so he decided to branch out a bit. And so this one goes to Rome, it goes to Paris, it goes to South Africa. I think it's got lots of different places where the characters go, and it just is warm and it's a murder book, but it's warm and lovely. It's got really good plots, interesting characters, and it just propels you along nicely, and you plot along, and it's so much the same joy and fun that Richard Osman has in his books. And I'm very much looking forward to his next Thursday Murder Club book, which comes out in September this year, and so I'll be hanging out for that. But I saved this until I was on my uni break, and I just read it in a week. It was so good. I loved it. Great book. It's basically, the plot is, it's a retired man who lives in a small English village, and in-law or daughter-in-law, his daughter-in-law is a spy, or a secret, like a bodyguard, secret agent bodyguard spy thing, and she calls him into her adventures, because he's actually a detective, is a retired detective. So interesting plot, engaging, funny, loved it. This one is a little bit different, and I haven't read a book like this before, and it's about a woman who decides to start her own hairstyling business. It's by Zoe Foster Blake, and she's a very established makeup business owner, and it's called Go-To. She has a brand called Go-To, and it's basically all her experience and wisdom and knowledge about running a business, and she's put it inside a book. And the book is really interesting. It's very engaging. It plots your business from when it was born and conception and the idea of the business, all the way through to when the woman has got her own child and she's navigating having a family and a business and aging parents and messy and chaoticness of life, as well as running a business. And so it's got a lot of business knowledge, a lot of business insight, a lot of business lingo, but equally it's got a lot of good plot and character progression throughout her life. And so it's actually, it spans quite a long chunk of time, but it's really interesting and engaging. And it just was a really cool insight into the business world on mainland Australia, and I loved it. I thought it was really super interesting and very engaging, and a great insight into what it's like to run a business and start a business, and shares and equity and making wise decisions about the people that you include in your business as well. And Zoe Foster Blake has a really interesting way of writing, and I loved the cover so much. I had to buy it just because of the cover. It's such a good cover, and I just really liked it. I thought it was really interesting, and I think that it is a book that a lot of people could read whether or not you have a business. It has enough narrative structure outside of the business stuff for it to be engaging still. So it's really good. On to TV shows. So one of the TV shows that I've really, really, really enjoyed over summer, and it was just, I'm still watching it, I haven't finished it, but it's so much, I enjoyed it so much I had to go and subscribe to another channel, another streaming channel, which is, I only had the first 2 seasons on Netflix, and then I had to jump over to another channel just because I wanted to watch all of them. But Ghosts, so basically Ghost is originally a BBC show, so there's a British version of it, which I watched the American version, which it was based off the British version. But basically what it's about is this woman and her husband go and buy like a house, a big old house, or they get inherited a big old house, and they go inside and they're going to turn it into an Airbnb, and the woman falls down some stairs and hurts her head, and then she can see all the ghosts who live in the house. And so there's got a Viking from Viking times, there's a guy from the American War, there's a woman that was like lived in the house as an aristocrat sort of character, and then you've got a guy who was only recently died from a bow and arrow wound. And so it's short, sharp, funny, engaging storyline, interesting characters, there's lots of funny moments, there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens. I thought, oh, Ghosts, it's going to be a bit scary and spooky. Am I going to like this? Like, what's this going to be like? But it's actually just really, really funny and really engaging, and all the characters are really, really strong and distinct personalities, and they actually go into a lot of backstory behind each of the characters and why they died and what their motivations are, and it's got some surprising moments and funny moments, and it's actually, the more you watch it, the richer and more valuable the show comes, and the more you really begin to like the characters. And it's also, some of the lines are just incredibly funny. So it was just a really cool surprise. And so I've nearly finished watching the American version, and then I'm going to go and watch the British version, the original version, the British version, and see if that's as funny as well, because I reckon it will be. But it's been great, I've loved it. And there was 5 seasons, so many episodes. It was just great. It was a very happy surprise. I've been sick recently, and so I watched it while I was sick, and it's a perfect show to watch like when you don't want to think about anything and just zone out. You don't really have to think very hard. Also, I watched A Man on the Inside, which is about a guy who goes to be a detective in a retirement home undercover, and it's got Ted Danson in it and some great characters, and it's just really, really funny and poignant, and it's just a really wholesome, nice show by the people that make A Good Place. So it has got sort of the same vibe, a similar vibe to Ghost, nearly. That American sort of comedy with short episodes, but there's good plot in this one, and it's just a really nice, wholesome show, and it was like a warm hug, and I just really, really enjoyed it, and it was nice to have TV shows really like that. It was really, really good, and Ted Danson is such an incredible actor, and he has such great flavour, and so I really enjoyed it. I also watched Shrinking, which is about, it has Harrison Ford in it. It has the guy from How I Met Your Mother. So that Jason Segel, It's got Kristen Miller, Jessica Williams, Harrison Ford. It was just such a good show. It's got a guy from Ted Lasso in it, Brett Goldstein, who plays Roy Kent. It's basically about these people that are psychologists, and it is so funny. The plot and the story is so well paced, and it's very emotional because basically the main character, his wife dies, and so he basically becomes a mess, and he's a psychologist and he becomes a mess and starts flailing in his own life, and he's trying to raise his daughter, and he's got the neighbour next door who helps out, and then his boss is Harrison Ford, who is a guy who's also getting older and dealing with his own aging, and it's just wickedly funny. The cast is incredible. Harrison Ford is just absolutely amazing. It's emotional, it's poignant, it's the same sort of similar vibe to Ted Lasso in its quality and charm and engaging characters, and I just absolutely loved it. It is so good, and the second season was incredible. It's so funny. There's lines in it that I still, one of those shows where there are a few lines in it where I still like talk about with people that I watched it with, because it was so good and so funny and incredible. So, and it's also so warm, heartwarming and poignant, and it's sort of a similar vibe to Ted Lasso in being equally funny and equally heartwarming and resonant as well. And I just loved it. It was great. Shrinking, you should definitely watch it. Harrison Ford is incredible, and it was won a lot of awards too. And you can watch that on Apple TV or Amazon Prime Video if you pay for it, I think. But basically, a grieving therapist starts to break the rules by telling clients exactly what he thinks. And so he basically starts to break all the rules that therapists should follow when they are being a therapist. And it's incredible. Loved it. I also rewatched Outnumbered. Outnumbered is a family show where the parents, and it's British, and it's where the parents and the kids sort of with one another inside the house, and it's a situational comedy. It's just the kids that are interacting and just playing and being like kids, and the parents that are just sort of dealing with the kids' behaviour and attitudes, and just kids that are little kids. It's so funny, and the kids are incredible actors in it, and they just play around and mess with the parents, and the family dynamic is just so real. It's so accurate to real life, and it's just, I think the producers and directors just let the kids be kids and improvise it, and then the parents just respond to the kids and their behaviour, and it was just really good. I loved it. Great show, and I watched it again because I just wanted something nice to watch, and it was just so good, so funny. Every line in it is incredible. Great show. You should definitely watch it. Also, I watched a movie which has just come out on Netflix called Back in Action. It's got Cameron Diaz in it, it's got Glenn Close, it's got other great actors in it, and mum and dad, who are retired spies, end up get thrown back into the world, and the kids come along with them for this spy adventure. It's funny, fast-paced, you can watch it with your family, action, comedy, drama, really light and fun, and great characters, good lines in it. It's British American. It was just really good. I just really enjoyed it. It was just a good hour and a half of quality movie. I also watched Interstellar, which my brother forced us to watch, which is like 2 or 3 hours, and it was a grinding movie. It was a long movie, but it was incredible set design, incredible storyline, mind-bending, fascinating, engaging. I didn't know what was going to happen. Great story, great plot. I love the space world and science fiction, and it was just really engaging, and a great movie, a really great movie, and it's my brother's one of his favourite movies, and I can see why, because of just how engaging it is. It was incredible. It was really fascinating to watch about this guy that goes off on this space journey, and at first it was slow to get into. The first half an hour was quite slow to get into, but once he got into space, the pace really improved. And by the end of the movie, you realise how much you need the first half an hour, because it sets up so much of the plot for the rest of the movie. And actually, so much of what's mentioned in the first half an hour is mentioned in the last half an hour. And so it's so well thought out and so well constructed. It was incredible. And I also watched a little bit of a silly movie, but really interesting, about growing up and coming of age and developing your brain. Inside Out 2, a great movie. I loved it. It was just funny. It was interesting. It was just a good couple of hours or hour and a half, and a great story. And the people who created it really did think about what it would be like when kids go through puberty and what their emotions are and all that kind of dynamic and stuff. The first movie, if you watch the first movie, you know how incredible that is. Well, it's much of the same. Great movie, interesting. What does your child's emotions, what happens to them when they go through puberty? It was great, I loved it. And fitting in, all that kind of stuff. It was really, really cool. Good movie. And that's all that we have time for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy the video, a great way to let me know is to give it a thumbs up, comment down below. If you watched the whole video, thank you very much. And I'm so excited to be back, and I hope that I'm going to be able to provide you with some entertainment over the next coming weeks and months, and I'm very excited to be back. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye.